You know how sometimes you come across a single sentence that just clicks? Like it holds a lifetime of wisdom in just a few words? Well, today we're diving deep into one of those. We're going to pull apart this powerful idea about struggle, about perspective, and really explore how our absolute toughest moments can somehow become our greatest assets. And it all starts by looking right at the hurt. And it kicks off right here with a line that every single one of us, unfortunately, can relate to. It just grabs you, right? Because it speaks to that universal feeling, the overwhelming, all consuming pain of whatever you're going through right now. It doesn't try to brush it off, it meets you exactly where you are.
And that's really the first big piece of this whole idea. Before you can even think about looking forward, you have to fully and honestly acknowledge what's happening in the present. You have to acknowledge the reality of the hurt.
So, what's really crucial here is that this isn't about some kind of toxic positivity, you know? It's not about just telling yourself to get over it. The message starts by saying, hey, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through, it is real, it is valid. And that's the foundation we have to build on. Because hurt isn't just some abstract word, is it? Nah. It shows up in our lives as really concrete things. It's that awful uncertainty, those frustrating setbacks, the confusion of not knowing which way to turn, or just that heavy, heavy feeling of being completely and totally stuck. That is the now that this quote is talking about. Okay, so once we've sat with that, once we've accepted the reality of the present, the message makes a huge pivot. It shifts our focus away from the immediate pain of now and points us toward the promise, the perspective of one day, a day when things are going to look very, very different. And here it is. This is the turn. This phrase brings in the most powerful tool we have for making sense of our own lives: hindsight. It's basically a promise that your current viewpoint, the one that's all clouded by the struggle, it's not permanent. Trust me, a new perspective is on its way. And this is the journey, right? This is what it looks like. Right now, you might feel like you're just lost in the weeds, completely consumed by the struggle. But the promise is that there's a future point, that one day where you'll be standing on the other side, looking back with a kind of clarity you just can't have right now. And really, that's all hindsight is. It's that crystal clear understanding that only comes with time and distance. It's the magic ingredient that allows this whole transformation to happen, turning what feels like a pointless, painful experience into a powerful, meaningful lesson. All right, so we've acknowledged the hurt. We've been promised a future perspective. Now we get to the real punchline of this whole thing, the ultimate realization about what all that struggle was actually for. This is it. This is the absolute core of what we're unpacking. It's the idea that the pain wasn't for nothing. It wasn't just some random, awful thing that happened to you. With hindsight, you will eventually see that it was formative. It was the very thing that pushed your life in a new and ultimately a better direction. And here's kind of how that alchemy works. The pain you feel right now, that becomes the raw material for new strength. All that uncertainty, it forces you to dig deep and find a totally new perspective. And that feeling of being completely lost, well, that's so often the very thing that puts you on a new and much better path. I mean, think about it. It's usually not a dozen little things that radically change us. It's the one big challenge, the one massive setback, the one heartbreak that ends up being the engine for our most profound growth. Just one struggle can spark one enormous, life-altering transformation. Okay, so this all sounds good in theory, right? But how do you actually get from the hurt now to the better later? Well, the final part of this quote isn't just an observation, it's an instruction. It gives you an active role to play in this journey. This right here, this is your call to action. This is the mental tool you're supposed to carry with you while you're in the struggle. It's not about pretending the hurt isn't real. It's about holding on to this future promise like a flicker of light, even when everything feels dark. So how do we actually do that? Well, first, like we said, you gotta acknowledge the pain. Don't fight it, don't judge yourself for it, just let it be. Second, you consciously hold on to the possibility that this could be leading somewhere good. And third, you try to trust the process. Trust that growth is happening under the surface, even if you can't see it yet. When it comes down to it, this practice, this conscious choice to keep it in mind, that's your bridge. It's what connects the difficult now to the eventual realization of one day. Your mindset is literally what helps you walk from one side of that timeline to the other.
So let's just put it all together one last time. You start by validating the hurt. You look forward with a promise of hindsight. You understand that the struggle is actually the engine for positive change. And you actively use your mindset to hold on to that truth. It's a complete toolkit for resilience right there in one sentence.
So I want to leave you with this question. Instead of asking, why is this struggle happening to me? This idea invites us to ask a totally different question. What is the struggle building for me? What stronger, wiser, better future version of you is being forged in the fire of what hurts right now?